Good, happy Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Politics, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Democrats to Sununu deliver Amazon to New Hampshire. It didn't take long for the nationwide convention for Amazon's second global headquarters to get political in New Hampshire. State Democrats are challenging Governor Chris Sununu to personally deliver Amazon to the Granite State. The assault on the truth is nothing new. A radio host in Arthur reminds us we are always susceptible to fantasy. Let's take a listen to the video from Matter of Fact Sola O'Brien.
Modified CEMS at Cheshire Medical Center.
We have the equipment and the training to handle life support missions.
We have the landing zone set up in the battlefield.
We take care of the most sick and most badly injured patients, and to be able to help those people on a daily basis is incredibly rewarding.
Here's a somewhat terrifying poll that highlights how willing Americans are to believe in, quote, alternative facts, or as we like to call them, fiction. Nearly a quarter of Americans believe that millions of people voted illegally in the 2016 election, even though there's no evidence of that. 20% of Americans believe there is no evidence of global warming. 97% of climate scientists agree global warming is real. And 1 in 5 Americans believe it was U.S. officials who planned the 9/11 attacks. So with so many people believing fiction, not fact, how can we ever find common ground? Kurt Anderson is the author of a new book called Fantasyland and spoke with us recently about the history of fake news in America. You say fake news is embedded in our nation's DNA, and I guess that's been kept in check. What do you mean?
We had the now widely denigrated mainstream media, which mostly...
Okay, and there you go on a little bit of that video from Matter of Fact. If you want to watch the whole video, you can. We will share the link with you on our network. New Hampshire marijuana decriminalization law takes effect. Let's take a listen to the video.
Personal checking and really free business checking at Commerce Bank. There's no monthly fee, no minimum balance. Plus, you get a free debit card, free online banking, and free bill pay. See one of our professional bankers for details.
Starting tomorrow, possession of small amounts of marijuana in New Hampshire will only be a civil violation rather than a misdemeanor criminal offense. Governor Sununu signed the bill into law back in July, decriminalizing the possession of up to 3/4 of an ounce of pot. Violators will face a fine of up to $100 for a first or second offense. Supporters say this means that up to 80% of all pot possession cases in the state will no longer end up in court.
Okay, and there you go on that report and that video. White House denies reports that U.S. changing sentence on Paris Climate Pact. A European Commissioner energy official put into question President Donald Trump's sentence on the Paris Climate Agreement, according to news reports. One article reported by the Wall Street Journal said the U.S. won't pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement relating to an announcement that Trump made in June. But the White House said there's been no change on the U.S. position on the Global Act. As the President has made absolutely clear, the United States is withdrawing unless we can re-enter on terms that are more favorable to our country, the White House spokeswoman Lindsay Walters said in a statement. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said the president's views is that the U.S. is withdrawing unless we get pro-American terms. The U.S. stated that they will not renegotiate the Paris Accord, but they will try to review the terms of the agreement. European Commissioner for Climate Action and Energy, Miguel, told reporters from the Wall Street Journal and the agency French Press. More details could emerge next week on the sideline of the UN General Assembly, AFP reported. In June, Trump said under the Paris Agreement, the U.S. could lose nearly 3 million jobs by 2025 and pay billions on global climate fund. Under former President Barack Obama, countries agreed to certain standards and nations could alter their committees, according to the Associated Press. Note Trump's surrealist art of deal on DACA. If you're thinking this will be easy, clear path, a tidy comparison, we've got a wall to sell you. For starters, deals depend on trust. If President Trump seals an immigration deal with Democrats, it may have to rally a lack of therefore an expectation, if not necessary, that the other side will say it does things your side won't able to admit. That's just one of the obstacles and traps that loom for Trump and his new best friend, who enter their countership with as much or more to lose, potentially, than the president. And that does it for Politics with Riley King, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Goodbye, everyone.